Welcome to 5 Good Minutes.
You're listening to today's inspirational message on the book of 2 Thessalonians
with Dan Irvin.
Paul writes in 2 Thessalonians chapter 1, verse 10, he says this, "On that day he comes to be glorified in his people and to be marveled at among all those who have believed." Now, this is a pretty remarkable verse, a short verse. Paul doesn't write and say that Jesus will be glorified by us or merely before us. He says that Jesus will be glorified in us, those who believe. When we talk about God's glory, I think, maybe you think of a blazing, a distant, external, something outside of us that we observe in awe. And I think there's a truth, there's a beauty in that, and thinking of it that way. But Paul says something a little more here. He says that the blazing beauty, the glory of Christ will be seen through us. Us, the fragile, inconsistent weariness of the human being. God chooses to use us as a vessel for his glory, and not just someday, yes, someday, when Christ returns, but right now, even now. You see, the gospel is not just about future. It's not just about heaven one day, but it's about bringing God's kingdom, God's glory to the earth right now. Jesus doesn't just save us, but he actually shines through us in this moment. So just consider what it means for your life in this moment. Every act of love, every moment that you choose to forgive somebody, every time that you choose the truth of the gospel over maybe what's comfortable or what's popular, every time you trust God in the secret place. These aren't just choices, but these are little windows into the glory that will one day be fully revealed in us. In a broken world with broken hearts, God is composing something that is beautiful, forming in us his image. On that day, when he returns, what will the world around those who believe see? Not just a glorious presence of God on a throne, of Jesus on a throne, but of Jesus glorified in his people, so that the world might know, so that the world might marvel. Looking at love, looking at joy, looking at forgiveness, peace, perseverance, a look at Christ in them, those who believe. John Stott wrote about this thought. John Stott was a theologian that wrote a few books over the years, and he said this. He says, "For when the current is switched on, it becomes incandescent. So when Jesus is revealed in his glory, he will be glorified in his people. We will not only see, but share his glory. We will be more than a filament which grows temporarily. We will be radically and permanently changed, being transformed into his likeness. We will glow forever with the glory of Christ, as indeed he glowed with the glory of his Father." One day, the veil will lift. The beauty of Christ in us will be unmistakable. So the question now is, where is Jesus glorifying himself in you right now? Maybe it's a small act of obedience or faith, or a hard choice to love someone in your life that perhaps hasn't loved you back. All matters. It all points to God's beauty and God's glory, because one day, the day is coming when the world won't just marvel at Christ coming, but they'll marvel at the work that God is doing in you. That is the hope and the beauty of the gospel. God glorifying us, making us into the radiant image of his Son, Jesus.
Thanks for joining us here today. There's a lot of great content to explore on Orchard Hill Plus and on the Orchard Hill main feed from the weekend. Have a great day.